What they're doing here is they added rubber in a shape or in a design, a pattern to mimic your metatarsals, so the bones in your foot. And we're off. Shout out to Kofuzi. Thank you for the shirt, sir. Non-elite, baby. Non-elite. You rock, Kofuzi. YouTuber out of Chicago. Okay, we're off. It took me a little longer to get out the door this morning. It's about 5 a.m. right now because it may have snowed up there last night where I'm going. Longs Peak, baby. That is the goal. 3-year goal that I've been working toward, dreaming about for 3 years. So I was just checking the radar, and it does look like it's still raining up there right now. And I'm in the studio. You're probably like, wait a minute, Seth, where's Longs Peak? Where's the mountain running? I was thwarted, everybody. So as soon as I turned off the camera from the last clip you just saw, the rain picked up, and I wasn't too concerned about the rain and the sleet, but what I was concerned about was going up to 14,000 feet and getting wet, and the temperatures being in the 30s, maybe even in the 20s. I was looking at the Doppler radar, and it just looked like a rain-snow mix, and I was not gonna, first of all, I wanted to go up there to run fast. Bottom line, I was thwarted. I decided to remove myself from the mountain and save it for another day, and that's okay. A classic example of how we have to be flexible and pivot as runners. So that is what I did today. I drove off the mountain, went to downtown Denver, and yes, ran in, and I will be back to Longs Peak. Who knows? Maybe even tomorrow. Stay tuned, stay tuned. So I came off the mountain and ran for the second time in the ALTRA Torin 4.5 PLUSH. Here it is in jet black, and this is my second run. Today's run was 10 miles, 7:15 a mile, and so now we have 20 miles already. So gosh, I guess the 50-mile mark will be here sooner rather than later, but I always love giving the drop of an Ultra shoe because I don't even have to really think. Zero drop from heel to toe. That's what Ultra, for those that don't know, ALTRA, all Ultra shoes are zero drop shoes, meaning the footbed inside the shoe is flat as a pancake, okay? There's no slope to it from heel to toe. 21 millimeter in the heel, 21 millimeter in the forefoot. For women's size 8, we're looking at 7.5 ounces or 212 grams. For men's size 9, we're looking at 8.9 ounces or 252 grams. And yes, in my size, let's just see here. Anything under 9 ounces, for road shoes, I always like to keep my road shoes under 9 ounces. So my scale, you know what it is? It's coming in at 8.7 ounces in my size, or 8.6, 8.7. I did just run in the shoe, and so it might have a little bit of moisture because of the rain last night in the shoe. Anyway, I bet it's closer to that 8.5 ounces in my size, which is pretty good for a day. I should have mentioned a daily neutral road running shoe. And I will mention right now, innovation, this is where it's at, Ultra. This shoe from the ALTRA Torin 4, so they do half number increments, so this is the 4.5, so the ALTRA Torin 4 Plush, this shoe lost over an ounce from the 4 to the 4.5, an ounce. That is a ton. Great work, Ultra, losing an ounce in 1 year's iteration. Absolutely amazing. And most of that weight loss, from what I've read, is coming from the fact that they updated this upper in a big, big way. So it's a knit upper, what I would consider a very classic knit upper. So much so that, like, looking at this material and just feeling it on the first couple of days, I'm not sensing that this material or how they're putting the knit together, especially through the toe box, is going to be incredibly breathable. So anyway, I don't know what they're going to do moving forward. I have a feeling this shoe, even next year, I think it's going to continue to drop in weight as they update the knit upper. I don't mind this knit. It's very comfortable, but I do think it's not the most breathable knit I've ever worn. But here we go. Are you ready for this, everyone? I'm going to say right now that the tongue of the ALTRA Torin 4.5 Plush is the most comfortable lockdown and tongue of 2020. The next one that's coming to mind is probably the Nova Blast, and then probably, like the Peg 37. I will also add that the tongue is not gusseted, which is surprising to me that I usually love a gusseted tongue, but I'm telling you, the lockdown in this shoe it's amazing. And the inner liner, so what rubs right up against your sock, is very, very soft. It's just screaming comfortable, everybody. So much so that, here's a warning, a little tip of the day. I wore some slicker socks, slick meaning like slick as butter on a pancake. Slick socks yesterday, and I was sliding inside the shoe just a little bit. So today I wore some socks that have a little more grip to them, I'll say, just a little more resistance, a little more friction, and they worked like a charm. But I'm telling you, so comfortable, that inner liner, especially through the heel counter. And yes, speaking of the heel counter, it's not stout, okay? Look at that, very flexible, which is but I didn't feel like I was gonna slip out of the shoe at all. Felt like a great lockdown in the heel pocket, just fine. Oh man, loving the upper on the Torin 4.5 Plush. Moving on to that Quantic, what they call their Quantic Midsole, okay? And if you do the thumb test, it's got some good give. Oh gosh, is it in the soft category? I think it's going to be. I'm just gonna call it now. Like, it's definitely got a lot of give to it. Is it responsive? Like they're saying, I don't know. I don't know if I'd put it, I don't think I'm gonna put it in the responsive category. Some people are. I'm gonna go more leaning in the direction of a nice soft landing through your foot strike. So loving that, what they call, here it is on your screen, Quantic Midsole. Okay, and oh yeah, one last point. The insole, or what also some people call the sock liner, is very, very plush. Well, they named the shoe correctly. Just very soft, well thought out, very cushion. I'm really appreciating, for easy days, this insole here in the Torin 4.5 Plush. And last but not least, a lot of times the outsole of road running shoes are pretty basic, pretty straightforward, kind of boring to a certain extent. Not the Torin 4.5 Plush. Okay, look at that outsole. What they're doing here is they added rubber in a shape or in a design, a pattern to mimic your metatarsals, so the bones in your foot. If you're familiar with the anatomy of your foot, you could probably see it there. This looks like your metatarsals, and what they're going for is that there's also this inner flex, so they're trying to really create this, just like the shoe that to move with the movements of your natural foot splay. So, okay, I'm getting a little off topic here, but also I forgot to mention that the shoe is overall shaped like your foot. So the actual toe box is supposed to allow your toes to splay out more inside the toe box, or spread out more. And I will say the toe box felt roomy, but I wasn't swimming around in there. So that was good, because that's happened in the past for me with other Ultra shoes where it felt like my toes were spreading out almost too much. Back to the outsole, I'm not saying that this pattern of rubber on the bottom and how they're laying out the outsole, like, is it actually helping with my foot mechanics and how I strike the ground and more natural, like, or is it a little more, I don't want to say gimmicky or on the marketing side of Ultra? I'll keep testing, and it's probably going to take like a couple more, I'm just going to say like a couple more years of running an Ultra consistently before I'd be able to say like these metatarsal shaped outsoles are actually working It's a neat idea, but again, I'm not sold at this point that metatarsal outsole pattern is actually making a difference. And I will say, like, less rubber the better for road running shoes in my opinion, and I think that there's just a little too much here on the bottom. It does, let's jump into it, bump up the durability prediction to, I'm gonna go with 500 miles plus, because there is it's basically these foot pods in the shape of the metatarsals that's all covered with rubber. So that is going to increase the durability, but again, for me, I'd rather drop the weight of the shoe and have a little less rubber on that outsole. Positive and drawback. Positive, the lockdown comfort. Lockdown comfort, unbelievable. Drawback is the fact that, yeah, I was sliding around inside the shoe yesterday with it was a little slick. So don't, socks it's crazy, but socks do make a difference. And so just be careful. If you have a lot of slick socks, you might want to invest in one pair for this shoe that has just a little more friction. Like, I'm thinking of Smart Wool. Right now I have Smart Wool socks, and I have on, what are these called? Stance. I have Stance socks on right now, although Stance makes a lot of different type of socks. But anyway, so that's my drawback for the 4.5 Plush. And onto that price point, $140. I gotta keep testing and see, like, how does the midsole open up over the next 30 miles? Is it really truly an easy day shoe? How soft is the midsole ride going to be as I break it in a little bit more? So stay tuned on that 140 price point. For me, easy day shoes I prefer, like basically 120 and below. So I will continue testing for all of you. I think we're gonna get to 50 miles in the next, let me think, I'd say by a week from today, so probably next Friday or so. So full review coming down the pike sooner rather than later. And I'm just gonna announce right now, and I'll get to the question of the day, Adidas Adizero Pro, the next marathon carbon fiber plate to be released to the marketplace, is going to be reviewed on the channel Monday or Tuesday, okay? I'm just waiting for it to arrive at the house Monday or Tuesday, Adidas Adizero Pro. Stay tuned for that. Question of the day, what is your, all right, I think it's been a little while since I've asked this, what is your easy day shoe right now and why, okay? What do you grab for out of your closet, or like, what do you lean toward for your easy day shoe right now and why? Thanks for being here through the pivot on the vlog. Weather wins today, but we will rise again. We will rise again to victory. Oh man, love you guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. We'll toss it back. I don't know if I've created, I'll toss it back either to the last Ultra running shoe that I tested. I think it was the Paradigm perhaps, but, or the Ultra running shoe playlist. Will be right there. Onward and upward. Seek beauty. Work hard and love each other. See you tomorrow.